Hello, everyone. We are live with another amazing guest. But it's not just amazing guest, it's a great friend. We have Michael Sypsomos talking to us a bit about how to have the best strategy for your business, especially if you're overwhelmed. We are going to have a great talk about fears and many other more wonderful things that make a life worth living. Michael, before we start officially, can you please tell me how to pronounce your family name? Because I really want to say it right.
It's okay. So much.
So it's Michael Sypsomos.
Like the most.
The connection just broke off a bit. I hope that you can still hear me and see me well.
I can.
Oh, okay, yeah, now it's back. Okay, wonderful. It froze a bit. You froze a bit. Can you please tell me again? So it's Sypsomos, right?
Sypsomos. You got it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Now, our fearless friends, we're going to start in just a few moments. I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. And then, Michael, we have the official beginning, the Spotify version of our podcast in less than a minute, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, wonderful.
Ready when you are.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. This is wonderful. Good. It should be like this. Okay. Hello, everyone. What a special Friday with a special friend today. You can see Michael Sypsomos here on the screen with me. It's like we are face to face, but not really. We are going to have an amazing talk about business, about fears, about life, about what it takes to leave behind overwhelm when you have a professional, a mentor, helping you see the things that you can't see on your own. That's why it's so important to ask for help. And if you ask me, Michael, I think it's so courageous to know that you can only do that much on your own. When you want to grow, when you want to leave behind overwhelm completely, that's when you can start to see what the professionals are doing. Now,
Exactly. And if I may say something here, Roxana, we are our worst personal coaches, because we don't see things that other people see. Like they don't see anything else, and we just get them to think. We get them to think in a little bit different way. So, you know, and that's really where the beauty comes of coaching, and also we need to be there for accountability because we can help people in certain ways, but then when those beliefs come back, right, and haunt us, we're gonna go back to the old ways of the. So you have somebody to keep us honest and keep us growing.
you are so right, Michael. The connection is breaking off a bit. I'm not sure if it's on my side or if it's on your side. Can you hear me well?
Mine is usually mine from your side as well. but I can hear you. But I know that my connection here is usually pretty good.
Okay, it has all sorts of. It's going great now, and then it's a bit slower, but I mean it is how it is. I'm going to edit most of the sounds, so no worries. And if that's okay with you, I can wait to
Absolutely.
start the actual recording in a few seconds. Are you ready?
Yes, yes, for sure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we are going to start the actual official Spotify recording, the clean version, in
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 42. Turn your business around with the amazing Michael Sypsomos. The thing about business is that it can be an amazing place if you have the right person to help you. We have Michael with us today, who is an author, a project coach, and the founder of the Mentor Group International. As project coach, Michael is internationally recognized for creating project excellence for his clients throughout his career over the past 4 decades. We have someone with quite some experience here, and I could not be more honored to welcome Michael with us today, who continues to help project owners who are overwhelmed with their underperforming projects and businesses that drain their budgets and energy to turn their business and lives around. Welcome, Michael. What a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, thank you, Roxana. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Every time we talk, it's so invigorating for me. And really, oh, first of all, I want to say happy birthday, although it was the 30th of April for little Isabel. 2 years, it's amazing. And I also, I never really had a big chance to give you the full credit that you deserve doing all these things that you are doing. You're a mom, you're a podcaster, you are a coach, you do so many things. And often I know what it takes to raise kids, right? And you are doing an amazing job, just doing this juggling act so well.
You are so kind, Michael. Such a gentleman. Thank you so much for the very kind words. It's really great to do the things that you are passionate about because out of magic, we get to find time along with Isabel's cooperation, and I could not be more grateful than to be doing the thing that I love more, helping people
Absolutely.
be educated and also to implement the amazing knowledge that we are going to talk about today because I cannot wait you to share with our audience all of your amazing experience and wisdom that you have for over 4 decades. This is impressive, Michael. So, can you please start by telling us what is your story? How did you get to have such an amazing mission in life?
Oh my goodness. So that's a long story. I'm gonna try to make it as short as I can and still keep it interesting. It's interesting to me. Let me just say that first of all, I'm really excited to join you here in this podcast. And number 42. Wow, congratulations. Um, I the, you know the number one underlying reason why executives and my clients, my coaching clients, are being held back and they're not doing as well as they should, being extraordinary, is fear. So this is really, and it shows in many different ways, and we get to talk about that. In many disguises, right? But just sharing my story and why I chose to do what I do now. Let me just say this. First of all, I was born in Greece. originally a long, long time ago. In an island called Naxos. So for those of you that have been to Greece, it's between Mykonos and Santorini. It's a pretty large size island between Mykonos and Santorini. People know those two islands. And my father was a dentist. In fact, he was the only dentist in the island for not just this particular island, Naxos, but also a number of the surrounding.
Recording in progress.
He never really had much time because he was so busy. Never really had much time to spend with me, and so yeah. So anyway, and I actually held that against him for a long, long time. And as I will share with you later, I was able to overcome that because that was one of the beliefs that I had inside me, right? That didn't really help me, have that anger why my father didn't spend enough time with me. All fathers spend time with their kids, right? So I didn't like school, really. And honestly, I found that most of the subjects were boring and unnecessary. So, the thing is that everyone around me, my parents, my teachers, the other priests, everybody, the neighbors, they were trying to tell me what I should be doing. So they were all trying to, I'm sure you probably associate with some of those things, in your culture as well, right? And they were doing it for a good reason. They were doing it because they felt that they're helping. So, so my life was, or my mind was chaotic. I mean, I was in a total chaos. So, I didn't have a chance to find out what my passion is, which in my book I call ikigai. I don't know if you're familiar with this Japanese expression. Ikigai is the passion, right, that drives us to do things. So I was so pulled, in all kinds of different directions. I didn't really have a chance to find out what Mike wanted. So to confuse things more, my father, he wanted me to be a dentist, and he was in a long tradition of dentists in the family and all of that. So he wanted me to take over his practice, and the last thing I wanted to do is just be a dentist, and the main reason is because I don't like to see people in pain. That was really the main reason. So I thought, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I basically sort of fabricated the story that I'm going to go to the U.S. to study because there were better opportunities there. And what I did, I actually went to the U.S. In the medical school. I was accepted in the medical school already. So, but the second day I was there, I changed my degree, the program to engineering, because I would actually do anything. I didn't even know if I would like engineering, but I would do anything except dentistry, right? So, and I didn't tell my father for a long, long time about that. Very, very long time. So I went there. So I went to the university, and this is where I had this, I guess, awakening, and this, where I discovered a profession called project management, right? And so it was amazing. It was really love at first sight, honestly. And the reason for that is because I was in a chaos, right? I was totally unorganized. I was going in all kinds of different directions. And this profession had all the tools and techniques to take me to where I could finally get my thoughts organized and find my direction in life and all that stuff. And suddenly, my stress that I had disappeared. And it's like, wow, what's happening here? And I didn't even get that deep into project management. At the time, I just experienced the tools and techniques, and I told myself, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love this. And for a long, long time, I kind of felt like this is this is a hobby more than a profession because at times I felt guilty getting paid good money to be a project manager because I enjoyed it so much. so so then later on I realized that it wasn't just the tools and techniques but also what we call the soft skills, right? The influencing, communicating, making decisions, negotiating with others, and those are things I hate that I hate them being called soft skills because they're anything but soft. They're truly life skills, and now I understand how important would it be to actually show the skills or teach the skills to young kids so that they can, when they finish school, they can be ready for life. I mean, truly be ready for life rather than just, the things that the schools teach now. So again, that became my passion. And then later on, in order to be able to help others, I combined project management and coaching. In fact, about 30 years ago, I was one of the few project coaches in the US. So and that of course led me to come here to Thailand where I am now and worked as an executive like you said for very large companies like Chevron and other big companies. But now I'm just practicing this project coaching on my own, helping like you mentioned overwhelmed leaders or owners, business owners, project owners, to sort of find out about these tools, but also, as I will explain a little later, also to manage their mindset. Basically to help them with the things that nobody helped me before, when everybody just trying to tell me what to do. So, and and the one thing that I found out later was, later in life is that, I'm actually helping all these people be happy. Be happy because when you're confused and stressed, you really cannot be happy. Your focus is elsewhere. Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning this wonderful life story with us. And indeed, I love it that you said that people were telling you what to do, but not because they wanted to harm you in any way. Most of the times, people want to protect us and they mainly put their own fears on top of our existence, our needs, and they wanting to help us makes them sometimes stand in our way because we have different needs and different desires for our lives. What a story, Michael.
And Roxana, this is very very important what you just said because in what you and I do coaching, right? We never tell anybody what to do. We understand that everybody has the answers inside them, and all we do is just ask all the right questions to help them bring their best authentic self out, right? So we never tell anyone what to do. They already have all the answers inside them.
100% exactly. We are merely guides that give them maybe a good question to hint them along the way. And I know you are an amazing professional, Michael. And since you have so much experience in the field of mindset that is at the very basis of it all. What would you say that the most important skill would be to let go of overwhelm completely? What would you advise entrepreneurs that have this issue with overwhelm?
Well, you know, overwhelm is also can also be called suffering because I actually have a theory or the way that I think about this whole thing is which relates very very closely to fear, you know, being the subject here. But you know, there's pain and there's suffering. Okay, and you know, excessive pain or excessive fear and anger is what really causes our pain. You know, excessive confusion causes pain. So pain is inevitable. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. So you know, pain is really about, from NLP, is our life conditions, is the way that life is happening around us. It doesn't match our sense, our beliefs, our sense of the world, right? The way that the color glasses that we wear, you understand that. So this is pain, is when the life conditions, are not in alignment with our map of the world. Now, suffering is same thing when the conditions are not aligned with the beliefs, but we feel powerless to change it. We feel that we don't have any options. And this is where the overwhelm comes. You see? So what we do is we get them refocused. We get our clients refocused, or we just get them to change their map of the world. And refocusing is one way to do it. Um, I I actually have a great example. I like to use stories to sort of depict the things that I talk about, because people relate to stories a lot better. So would that be okay if I share something? I just want to share one really good story, maybe two. So I remember, oh my gosh, when my son Alex was graduating. It was his graduation year, and he was playing. I was his coach, his football coach, soccer coach. He that one day he finished playing a rugby tournament, so he already had played 3 games, and so my game was postponed until nighttime under the lights. So he came to me and he said, "Dad, I'm really too tired to play soccer, to play for the team." And I said, "Hey, tough, you got to play." So he wasn't happy, but he went out and he started playing, and he was my star, right? When he played for me. So the score was tied. He wanted to go and win and score the winning goal. So as he went out to kick the ball to score, the goalkeeper puts his foot right in front of him on his chin. And at night, right? And God, you could hear the pop, pop, that his bone broke. Oh, every time I think about that, I get chills.
Okay, we just got disconnected. No worries, we're going to get Michael back. Okay. Okay. Now, in a few minutes, we should get Michael back. I apologize. We have had some technical issues a bit before even starting, but we should be right back on track. Okay, I'm going to send Michael my Zoom details again. Okay. Okay, at least the live session is working. Good. Thank you for your patience in solving everything. Hi, Deepak. Nice to have you with us today. Thank you to everyone who is joining us. Okay. Okay. So I'm sending Michael an email with my Zoom details. Hopefully, it all works properly. Okay. Okay, waiting for the other file to convert. Hopefully, it converts quick because Michael will be joining us again. Okay, let's see if it's. Okay. Oh my goodness, until the conversion is over, it will not let me sign in, but this will be done in a minute or two, I think, even less. Thank you, everyone, for your understanding. Hey, Russell, thank you for joining. How are you doing? We are on a bit of a technical break from my live podcast, but we are going back right in. Let us know if you have any questions about project coaching that my guest is helping us with. And we should restart in a few minutes. Okay, I see that Michael has been messaging me on WhatsApp. Okay, hopefully I can log back in on Zoom because Zoom has zoomed us out, both of us. Oh my goodness. Well, this is what happens when we have live events. Thank you, Russell. It's nice to have you here with us. Appreciate the compliment. Okay, now it should let me go back on Zoom and resume our podcast. Thank you to everyone that is watching us both on YouTube Live. I appreciate your support and I'm so grateful for your understanding because things like these happen sometimes when we are live. Okay. Okay, at least it's working here. Join with computer audio. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Going on WhatsApp. Hopefully it works. Okay, it takes now a bit to download the messages on WhatsApp. Oh my goodness, today is not a good day for science. But I really hope that Michael is patient enough to wait while all the technical stuff gets back together and that we can resume our talk because it was such an amazing talk about project management in business when you only need to focus on your mindset and you avoid overwhelm when you are focused on what is it that you really need to do. Okay. 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 It should all be working, waiting for um, Michael to get back on with me here on Zoom. Okay. Okay, glimpse into my WhatsApp as well. It's the first time that this happens.
Oh, we're back.
We're back! Yay! Oh my goodness, Michael. Zoom just kicked me out because it seems I needed to upgrade something, but they didn't do this. Why didn't they send me a message before or something? Why they didn't do this
Oh,
ever? And I couldn't
Roxana, you
log
didn't
back
pay
in.
your bill.
Ah, oh my goodness. I missed this, it seems. But this has never happened ever. So, this is indeed a very special episode. And you are so kind and so nice for being so patient. Thank you and apologies for this, Michael. Oh my
Roxana,
God.
don't ever apologize. I was actually thinking to myself, I was waiting and I couldn't, the links didn't work. I was actually thinking to myself, everything happens for a reason, right? Everything happens for a reason. And when we have that kind of belief, nothing would bother us at the end of the day. Maybe I'll share another story afterwards that I actually wasn't planning to share, which will really surprise you. Because we should really never push. If something like this happens, there's got to be a reason behind it, and even if there's no reason, that's a good way to think about it, so you don't get upset.
To be honest, Michael, I'm used with all sorts of technical things. So I really kept my cool. I do live sessions on YouTube every single day. So, I'm used to having the connection fall down completely. But I love your approach on this. This just shows what a healthy, fulfilling mindset you have, just to keep away from stress, unneeded overwhelm. Because let's face it, even if we get upset, do we get anything solved or done? No, on the contrary.
It doesn't help us a bit. And
Exactly.
that's why they say flexibility is the key to happiness. Flexibility is the key to happiness. Being elastic.
You are so right. You are so right. Next time,
So
I'm going to know to upgrade to Pro. I had no idea that I needed to do this. I'm using Zoom for such a long time, but
it's
I'm going,
okay.
yeah.
It's okay. No, that's fine.
Oh my
It's all good.
goodness.
It's all good. We're back. We're
Thank
back.
you.
Should I
Yes.
continue with my story?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So Alex, right? He was, I asked him to play for, the late game. He was a bit angry with me. And so he went out to, to play the night soccer game. And as he tried to kick the ball, the goalkeeper came out and basically put it right in front of his shin. And you could hear the pop in the middle of the night. Oh, my heart stopped. Honestly, my heart stopped. And of course, the first thing was, oh, I felt guilty, right? Because I forced him to just go out there and play, especially being tired or anything, all these things. But then at the end, he even realized himself that sometimes when we have that victim approach, that victim thinking, we're going to go out and we're going to prove to people that we're victims. See, I was tired. I told you. He understands that totally now. When I first told him about this, it's like, Dad, I would never go out and break my leg purposely. And I said, you know what? People kill themselves just to prove that they're right.
You are so right, Michael, and I'm very appreciative that you said this because there are things in our subconscious mind that actually want to protect us, even if this means harming us. Our mind is so obedient, but only if you give it the right orders, the right instructions to perform in a way that it really serves you.
Exactly. Exactly. So to finish the story, right? So the ambulance comes. They call. Actually, two ambulances came because people started calling, and came to the on the field. They put Alex, in a stretcher, and Alex's friend Nick came in the ambulance with me and Alex. So Nick, from his heart, because one of his best friends, oh Alex, why did that have to happen to you? God, I wish that could happen to me because you have such an amazing, future with soccer and all that. Like, oh my gosh, this is not going anywhere. So the pain, the physical pain that Alex had now was getting mental pain because Nick, meaning well, he was building up, saying things that he really should not be saying because now it's making him feel bad emotionally. So I said, guys, let's do this. So we're in the ambulance now going to the hospital. So I said, guys, let's play a game. And kind of look at me and I said, yeah, let's just play a game here. Let's just think about things. Why is this good? What's good about this? And they looked at me like I was crazy. It's like, there's nothing good about this. I said, just think about it. I'm sure there's some things that are good. So Nick said, oh, well, you're going to be missing a few days from school, Alex. And Alex, yeah. And you know what? Maybe a lot of girls will come and visit me at the hospital. One thing led to another, and they started laughing and adding, and I was making notes of all the things that they were talking about. So their focus, right, changed completely from pain and fear and what's going to happen with Alex's future and why him and all this stuff to, change totally the focus to something funny, something, because there's good in everything. There's good in everything. If we search, we can find it, right? So, we get to the hospital, and so in the emergency room, and the doctor comes in, there to see Alex, and they were still both laughing, and he says, "Did somebody here break a leg?" What? I've never seen anybody laughing in the emergency room. That's what change of focus does to you. So
Wow.
so this is basically what I do with with overwhelmed business owners. Get them to see other options, change their focus from, oh my gosh, I'm going to be losing money, I'm going to be, my family will suffer and all these things. Again, because they don't feel that they have any options. They're into that suffering mode, beyond pain, into suffering mode. And this is where Alex was going with that. He was actually, the pain was there, but he was actually starting to suffer now because other things came in, you know. So, changing the focus is definitely, and looking for better options is definitely a good way to overcome overwhelm.
This is genius, Michael. I'm listening to you, taking some notes, and just taking in this amazing, what an easy, logical, and rational technique. I love this. This is something that we can all do. So I appreciate you mentioning this.
So
However,
simple.
it's that simple that maybe people will think, okay, is it this simple, so does it mean that is it going to work? Yes, it is going to work. However, my fearless friends watching us live, listening to us on Spotify, I suggest that you get in touch with Michael, number one, because he is so generous in offering you a 90-minute free coaching session. I mean, could you have a better gift on a Friday afternoon or evening, wherever you are on this beautiful Friday before the weekend? What a great gift, Michael. I'm so grateful that you are offering this to our
And
audience.
I'm only doing this for your audience, Roxana. Really, I mean it because we've known each other for a long time, and I really want to do something of value for them. And this is totally free. And in 90 minutes, I call those the breakthrough strategy
Wow.
sessions. And in 90 minutes, they're going to come away with more clarity about their business. This is for people that have are thinking about starting new business, or people with existing businesses that are having problems, because they were not set up properly right from the beginning. You see, so or people with projects or whatever. But this is really mainly for business people, because every business, every company has projects. So helping them to set things up. So we'll be having a coaching conversation to where I will understand what they're doing, and basically they can get some strategies right away, within this hour and a half, that they're going to come up with more clarity about what they need to be doing. How much money. They're going to understand how much money they're losing by not doing certain things. And yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. And again, this is just limited to your listeners.
Thank you, Michael. What a privilege. Our fearless friends, make sure that you are going to check the details in the description of this live session, of this Spotify version, with Michael's details, because you will want to talk with this wonderful, positive, so wise man that can really shift your state, shift your mindset in a matter of minutes. Talk about experience, Michael. And I know that you have prepared a nice exercise for us. So if you want to tell us a bit about it so that people can have a real taste of what it really means to have a coaching session with you, the stage is all yours.
Absolutely, absolutely. But before I do that, Roxana, would that be okay if I share the story that I mentioned about not pushing against, not pushing too hard against something that seems that it's not working or it's not happening or whatever. And I think your listeners will find that very, very useful as well. So some years ago, here in Thailand, right before Christmas, my wife and I, and Alex, we were actually planning to go to an island here in Thailand to spend Christmas there. Because it's time off, and everybody goes to the islands. So um, we try to get that right. The same hotel room that we get on the beach, it was taken. So, well, how about the other one next to it? No, not available. So then we're trying to find flights, and we had to travel separately. So there was just one problem after another. And it's like me, of course, oh, I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna make it happen. And my wife said, sometimes things happen for a reason, and let's just not push too hard. And it's like, man, no, I want to make this happen. I want to go there. I want us to have fun, in the island over Christmas. Imagine. So to make a long story short, we changed the venue. We went on the other side of Thailand. And then on Christmas Eve, we found out about the tsunami that came in Thailand. And we would, my whole family, including me, would be gone. If we had stayed in that hotel room, we would not be alive to talk about the story.
I
So
just
after
got
that,
chills. I just got chills right now. This is amazing. This
but
is
that's why,
amazing.
see things like this, Roxana, is what really, what sort of builds character. And that's why I don't get upset about those things anymore. Since that happened, and it's like, why have I been pushing so hard to make something happen if I get the guidance from somewhere that don't go there, don't go there, you know? There's something behind it, So maybe I'm just thinking, why did the internet, give up? Why did Zoom not work? Maybe it's for me to share that story. Maybe it'll save somebody's life. Who knows?
Yes. Wow. Thank you for telling us this because, this really gets me to be even more careful and our audience as well regarding the signs that we have around us because the universe, this world, life, God, call it any way you want to, gives us some signs when things are not maybe the best for us. So thank God you listened to your wife and you didn't
Oh,
push
absolutely.
through to get on that side of the island. Wow, Michael,
Yeah, true story. True story.
this is
In fact,
fantastic.
right after that, I was very involved with the youth soccer league here in Thailand, and three of our kids didn't come back because they're there with their families, and three of our youth, young players, did not make it. They just were lost in the tsunami.
Oh my
So
goodness.
don't push too hard. If somebody gives you a message, a sign, there's something there, something there.
Wow.
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'll be happy to share this exercise with the audience, and typically this is something that I do with a group, and people have the opportunity to share with the person next to them or whatever, and exchange ideas and feedback. Here you can just do it yourself, or they can do it by themselves. So, okay, so I'm going to ask that, everyone answers honestly, right, and with no judgment. These simple questions, very very simple questions. So, considering considering that fear is something that we have all experienced, and we're still experiencing, right, to a certain degree. Um, here's the questions that I want you to just go deep and answer to yourself. So I want you to think of the worst fear that you encounter most often, your worst fear. And most often, right? So anything that has to do with money, relationships, weight, health, career, anything. So something that when I asked that question, you pretty much knew what the answer is. Okay. So the next question is this fear something that comes up every once in a while, or has it become a routine for you to where it's in your head, it's in your mind continuously? Again, please answer that honestly. Okay. So the next question is, what are some of the things, regarding this fear? What are some of the things that you tend to say, that you tend to tell yourself or tell others regarding this biggest fear of yours? You know, uh, just some examples. I'm always afraid to make decisions because, they're wrong. Every time I make a decision, it's too difficult, or yeah, I mess up. I'm afraid that people will take advantage of me. I'm always afraid to take risks. So what are some of the things that you say when that fear comes up? And now I want to ask these questions. How have these thoughts helped you in the past? Because some of these fears, as we all know, right? I mean, they're there to protect us from something. They're there for a reason, right? So those are not just fears that just happen. As an example, we tell those things to ourselves about this particular fear to justify to ourselves, why we have fear, right? Things never work out for me when I go to a date, or the money is never enough, at the end of the month to pay for the bills or something. So, there's those things, right? So they helped us to feel better at some point, you know. So what is that? How have they helped us? Because they have. But now I want you to think about how are they hurting you in your life now? What are they holding you back from? Your work, your relationships, your finances. And if you continue to keep them and live by those thoughts and those fears, okay, what's going to happen to you? What your future, what your life will look like? This is very, very important, because this is where it actually hurts. And sometimes, in order for us to change, we got to have that pain. We got to have that pain. It might be painful temporarily, but at the end, it's going to help us big time. So please answer those questions honestly. And the final question is, how are you going to change these thoughts in order to be empowering? Because the language we use is very, very important. We can turn it around. We can turn it around. So what's the powerful language that we can use? You know, I got this story. Maybe this is a story that I can share. But I was taken advantage by my business partners back in 1990. I was in Florida, USA, and they basically stole $150,000 from me that I had invested in a company. And the thoughts I had that they were just sort of taking over Mike, that would really taken over me. Or how can friends do this to you? Because remember what I mentioned earlier, my belief, right? My view of the world is a friend never hurts a friend. That was my belief. But now this belief has become my enemy because friends never hurt friends, right? So how did I change that? They knew, to make a long story short, I put them in jail. And I didn't do it because of anger or because of anything like that, but it's because they needed to be taught a lesson so that they don't do it again. In fact, they came back and they thanked me for putting them in jail. They actually thanked me and they said we would never stop until do doing these things, and unless something like this happened to sort of slap us in the face and wake us up. So, so, and the truth is that I was actually praying for them because initially I had this anger, the pain, right? Because what was happening in my life was not matching my beliefs. So it was creating this pain, which at the end became suffering. This lasted for a month. I almost lost my regular job because I couldn't think of anything else. I actually felt like if I had them in front of me, I could just strangle them. So, and you know what happens when you have bad energy like that about somebody, usually you don't hurt them, you hurt yourself because it always comes back to you. So I was able to forgive them. That was my biggest lesson. But then the other lesson was that we can change anything, any of those thoughts, to where you can actually make them useful. So my new thought was, rather than friends don't hurt friends, my new thought was that, and you cannot trust anybody. That was my other thought. You cannot trust anybody. Can you imagine if you could not trust anybody? So now my new thought was I will be more careful about who I trust, especially trusting people that I get into a partnership with. Now, is that much more powerful?
Phenomenal, wonderful.
Yeah.
What some great questions can do to reshape your life at the end of the day. Because if you, as you said, Michael, if you keep on lingering in such strong, awful, negative feelings, you poison yourself. And nothing comes good out of anger and fear and resentment. And I can completely relate. I have some stories of my own. I'm not going to share them because it would take too long. But to be honest, I had this fear and anger issue around 10 years ago. And I wish I had someone like you to guide me and just tell me that I need to change my focus because I had some issues with anger management. And it took me, I think, a few good years until I found the proper NLP trainer to help me to vociferate, to get out all of that pressure and the frustration that I had built in. Because no one was there to give me this wonderful solution, as you have just given the example on your own wonderful personality and mindset and the exercise that you have previously shown us. I've also written down some things, and it's amazing what a good question can do. That's why I'm going to emphasize this one more time for our fearless friends watching us. Get in touch with Michael once again. He is so generous to offer you a 90-minute free coaching call. How amazing is that? This person really wants to help you. Both Michael and I believe that Knowledge is wonderful, information is great. However, if you do not put it in practice, if you do not implement it, it's only some nice experience and that's it. You won't benefit from it. So contact Michael, you'll have all the details in the description below and enjoy an overwhelm free business and lifestyle because if you're not happy in your business, let's face it, Michael, can you have a happy life? Not really, because everything is connected.
Absolutely. Oh, you're so true. You're so true. And in fact, I wanted to share that with you. And I'm so glad you reminded me because when people ask me, what does success mean to you? You know, what's true success mean to you? And people think that success is getting that big house, getting oh God, I always thought that. Uh, I think I have shared my story with you, right? That I wanted a big, beautiful house, you know, on my own beach in Greece, which I do, and the thing about it is, I got that because I had it on my vision board, right? I had it on my vision board, and I would see it, and the house looks identical to the one on my vision board. The thing that I forgot to say is that I will be able to enjoy and be happy with it. So I'm never there.
This is
So
amazing.
so success without happiness is failure, really. Whatever you do, you got to be happy. That's the ultimate success. That's the ultimate success.
You are so right. Build a lifestyle, not a business. You build it along. Oh my goodness, look at this, Mike. I don't think you can see this. This meeting will end in 10 minutes. I have got to say that today is the only day that I'm getting these messages. So we have only 10 minutes left until we break off from this Zoom call again. I really apologize, Michael. I didn't get this message ever before. So I'm going to upgrade definitely after our talk today because I don't want this to happen ever again. I'm thanking you once again for being so kind, so patient, and so nice with all of these. And you have given us some very amazing, inspiring bombs. You have dropped some amazing, wise words, one after the other. And Michael, before we go, can you please tell our audience how can they get in touch with you? And what is one piece of advice that you would give someone that is at the beginning of their journey?
Excellent. Before that, I want to mention a little bit about my book because all those things I'm talking about, COVID gave me the opportunity to finish my book last year. Thank you, COVID. Reframing. So in this book, I actually have all these things that I've been talking about, and based on my life and the way I have used all these things in my own life, and the book, it's actually the one right here. It's Your Life Mastery, and we can post that as well. So Your Life Mastery, and it's actually lifemasterybook.com. You can find it on Amazon. Lifemasterybook.com. You can find it on Amazon. So the other question that you said is, people can find me in www.coachsypsomos.com, and this is where they can actually book their free coaching session. So Coach Sypsomos, Sypsomos, coachsypsomos.com. So can I say something? Okay, I'm gonna try to be very, very quick here, and I'm gonna fit that in there because there was something else about fear, some thoughts about fear that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so there are two main reasons why people have fear. Okay, in my mind, it's fear about not being not being enough. We're not doing enough. We're not being enough. Okay, and fear of not being loved. Those are the two main things. I see that with my executive clients. I see that with everyone that I coach. It's all something that has to do with fear about something. And sometimes the fear of not being enough is disguised as a big ego, significance, like to talk about ourselves and things like this, know everything. And the fear of not being loved is well, it's just not being loved, right? So and some again, sometimes it's disguised as big ego significance. When we dig into it, then we realize it's like, oh my gosh, this person is nothing like what he's trying to look like he is or she is. So, and this is extremely important because actually fear helps us grow, especially when we started seeing that there's a reason behind the fear. So, and um, sorry. Oh, and the other question was, what can I offer to advise, right, to someone listening here? So, what I always tell young people that have high ambitions and high goals and all of that stuff, but often not enough experience or not enough confidence to just go out and do it. You have everything inside you that you need to be outstanding and do the extraordinary. You don't really need anything. Just like you said though earlier, Roxana, is maybe a little help from a friend, from a family member, or a coach, so that you learn how to relax, listen to your intuition, trust your inner voice, and when you relax, actually, you let your inner voice speak to you. You don't block it. So, and the other thing is get over your reasons and your excuses about why something it's difficult. My finances stink. My parents abused me. I'm coming from a dysfunctional family. I'm too old. I'm too young. Those are stories that we all have. You know, but just get rid of them. All those excuses are making us victims. So it's not helping us at all. So get rid of them. But if you cannot do it by yourself, find some help. Find some help.
Exactly. Michael, I'm
Yeah.
so grateful you mentioned
And,
this.
and one last thing is, you know, you said if I was to give someone an advice or a motto, what I have realized over the years is that fear was taking over. I was actually feeding my fear when I gave it a lot of time. I'll wait until Monday. Oh, it's the weekend, they're busy. So, oh, now it's Monday. They must be really, really busy on Monday. So I'll make that sales call on Tuesday. And it's always giving it time, giving it time. Stop feeding your fear with time. Starve your fear from time. Do it now. Do it now. So, don't wait. Don't wait. The more you wait, the more it builds up. So for me, this is actually a model that I have put right in front of me. Don't feed your fear with time. You will starve it that way, and it'll never come back. You'll get used to it, and it'll never come back. So yeah,
This is
that's
so
it.
powerful. This is so powerful, Michael. I love this. I'm going to remember this and use it as well if you don't mind, because this is so
Oh,
empowering.
that'll be
What
fine.
you put focus on, this is a great lesson for me as well, Michael. Today's talk was not coincidental at all. I don't believe in coincidences.
And even the break we had was not coincidental. Trust me.
Definitely. What you put focus on is what you get. Michael, this has been revelatory and one of the best talks I have had. I am so honored and so pleased for your time. Thank you for your wisdom, for your energy, for your generosity. I know that everyone watching us and listening us will want to get in touch with you for this 90-minute free coaching session. What more can you want as an amazing gift on a Friday? Thank you so much, Michael. What a privilege to have you on.
Thank you for having me on your podcast. And again, I honestly admire what you do, and I just hope that some of the things I have shared have created created some interest inside your listeners, so that they're able to search more. I mean, there's so much more in here, and in here too, in my heart, that I want to share. I hope that what people heard are just a trigger, to that will drive them to go and look into more rabbit holes, like the Wizard of Oz, right? And look for themselves, and find more so that they can grow, And then at the end, like I have in my book, the ultimate is to be able to contribute, because eventually, when they have all these things inside them, they will be able to help others, and they'll be able to give back. And I just hope I was able to give back some.
Thank you, Michael. Beautifully said. And I can't wait to have another great talk with you soon. Thank you.
Happy to anytime.
And saying goodbye to our Instagram friends and to YouTube, closing our live sessions. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being so patient with all of the technical situations. If you don't mind, Michael just got disconnected. Thank you to everyone watching us. Okay. And thank you to our YouTube friends. I appreciate your patience as well. Have an awesome weekend ahead.